Hello, Harkivators. So this video is gonna be unedited because I kind of don't want to edit it. Um, Sorry if I seem a little nervous. It's just that this video in particular is really hard to talk about for me, but I just kind of want to get it out there. So if I ever mention anything about it, you'll know what I'm talking about. Um, so yeah, uh, I guess I'll start off with, I know I kind of seem really happy in these videos a lot, and I'm always like, just really sarcastic and stuff, and not really ever sad. But, yeah, this, trying to calm down. That's not the case. I actually struggle with anxiety and depression, which is something I'm trying to overcome, as well as self harm and being suicidal. Sorry, I'm not wearing makeup again. And sorry if my hair's wet. I just took a shower and re-bleached it. So, yeah. Okay, so this is gonna be kind of a story on that. To start from the beginning, as a kid, and I'm speaking as in elementary school, and like really young like that, I always kind of got picked on by the other kids, even my cousin, who was kind of like the leader of the popular kids, I guess you could say. And the people who I thought were my best friends in fifth grade kind of mean to me, I guess. And they literally said to my face, "We think you should find new friends," so that was kind of sucky, I guess. Um, Sorry, my voice is really like shaky. I'm trying not to freak out. Um, yeah, I always kind of got called weird, called basically everything, picked on. Like, my whole life, I've kind of just been called literally every name you could think of. I've been called a heretic, for God's sake. Um, but yeah, that's kind of a big part of what caused everything, I guess. And then, so ever since then, I guess starting in about sixth grade, I've had really bad anxiety. Like, for a while, it was just social anxiety, as in I was horrified to talk to anybody, and I'm still kind of horrified to talk to anybody, and I just, I kind of never know what to say, and I kind of freak out whenever anybody tries to talk to me that I don't know and not friends with. So it's kind of horrifying, I guess you could say. It's a really big fear. The anxiety has also kind of given me irrational fears of everything, like paranoia, I guess. So I'm more scared than I was before of planes or somebody breaking in, or this is gonna sound like a Fault in Our Stars reference, but it's not. Oblivion, I guess is the best way to put it, because of my religious beliefs, I guess you could say. I'm an atheist, so I don't believe in a God. And my kind of view on the afterlife is that there's just nothing. It's just you just die, you're non existent as before you were born, basically. So that kind of scares the living shit out of me. So that causes the panic attacks, which I guess I started getting around seventh grade about that specific topic. And then now, since the beginning of this year, I've kind of just gotten them really frequently. As in, I get basically one a day. I used to get two a day, and it's really, really horrifying. So, yeah. The depression started around 8th grade. A lot of times in 6th and 7th grade, my friends didn't really like to speak with me. They all kind of found their own friends. Ended up sitting at a table alone for a really long time, and I wouldn't sit with anybody else that offered because I would be too scared to. And I kind of, whenever I tried to speak, somebody would speak over me. Somebody would speak over me. And my friends wouldn't really listen to me, so that's really not fun. I was kind of basically forced to keep all my thoughts in my head and almost live in my head, which isn't fun. It kind of made me think a lot more, and now my thoughts just kind of won't shut up. A lot of the names and then the being ignored caused the self-hate, the utter self-loathing that I feel, which a lot of you are probably gonna say that's stupid, but that's just kind of what happens after a while. You start to believe everything that's said about you. Yeah. And then this, I want to say, being suicidal, was next. It started really early in the beginning of the year. All of my friends kind of knew a lot of people in high school, so they went off to talk to them. Like, even my friend Sophie, who usually didn't talk to anybody outside her friend group either. They kind of went off and talked to other people while I was really, really scared to, and none of my friends were in any of my lunches or in most of my classes. So I would kind of just sit alone all the time and kind of just sit in the back of the class, and for a really long time I never got to talk to anybody or anything. So that really wasn't fun. I'm sorry if I cry during this. It's just, this is a really, really sensitive subject for me, and not something I talk about often. So yeah, I don't really talk about the whole story often. But yeah, it was like that for a really long time. I'm still trying to get over it. But it kind of got better after I switched out of honors bio and into regular bio, where I met this guy named James, or who I call Jay, who was in one of my recent videos, who we ultimately became my best friend in the world, and continuously helps me through everything and helps me through like all of my troubles and stuff. So I love him a lot, and he's really, 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 really cool for helping me through all this and all of my anxiety issues. I'm sorry that I'm like stuttering and my voice is kind of airy and shaky, and I won't really make eye contact with the camera that much. It's because I'm literally on the verge of having a panic attack right now just talking about this in the wide open. So most people don't know this about me. So yeah, that's kind of horrible. I'm kind of bullied slightly, I guess you could say, or I was a lot more in elementary school, but it still happens occasionally, and it's stupid when it does. I've had people still keep continuously calling me weird till this day and giving me really stupid looks, like, almost like I'm, like, I want to say scary to them or something, which I, don't understand, really. I know you've never really seen this side of me before, just because I don't really like to show it on camera, or I don't usually feel it on camera. So yeah, the self-harm, that's a subject to talk about. That started also early on in the year. The only reason anybody found out was because the cuts on my leg were kind of bad, so I had to tell my gym teacher to just let me sit out, and he asked why, and I ended up breaking out crying, and I ended up telling him what I had done, and yeah. A lot of you will ask about these scars which I have. You can't really see them in the camera, but there's one on, like, my hand right here and stuff. There's a few here. There's one here. There's one on my upper arm here, right here, and there's a bunch going down my leg. That's also from self-harm. That's from scratching myself during a panic attack. That's happened a lot. Most of the ones on my arms were all done at the same time, and kind of during the first time I've ever really had a true panic attack, and I didn't know how to deal with it, so I ended up scratching myself. And then the ones on my legs were from another time, which I don't want to talk about. I do have a lot other than scratches. I have, cuts on my upper thigh. The most recent I did was when I was still in school, and I want to say that was, 3 weeks ago or so. So I'm trying to overcome that, and it's kind of hard. But I've actually learned to deal with the panic attacks really well and just calm myself. And I learned that one of the biggest techniques you can use is breathing. Focusing on your breathing really helps for anybody that's struggling with it, because your thoughts kind of don't shut up and you feel like you can't breathe. So you feel like you can't breathe. So if you just use all of your brain power and just focus on just kind of like taking deep breaths, deep slow breaths, not deep fast breaths, then it can really help. And also just using your thoughts to try to think, calm yourself. You're in control and you can calm yourself. Yeah, so that, I figured, is something you guys should know about me. I mean, I don't consider it to be like the definition of me, but it's a big part of my life. So I want you guys to know about it, because this is basically the kind of the time in my life where I can share anything. Oh hey, this pillow was made by my friend Holly. Isn't it cool? Yes it is. So yeah, I tend to have some nervous habits, but it's kind of confusing for other people when I tell them about them because it's also my habits when I'm bored. So, yeah, like, well, except the scratching, that's a definite nervous habit. But there's, tapping, which I guess is more of a nervous habit than it is a bored habit, though I do it when I'm bored or when I'm just listening to music. But when it's a nervous habit, I will tap, and most of the time, if it's a nervous habit, I will bite my lip really hard too, and just continue tapping. I tend to chew up the inside of my mouth when I'm nervous too. And when I'm nervous, I also tend to awkwardly laugh and stutter like an idiot. And say a lot. I never usually say I am usually fairly articulate watching, and I have, I guess you could say, a slightly larger than normal vocabulary. I watched a lot of British TV as a kid, and they use a lot of big words. So I would always ask my mom, "Oh, what does that mean?" And I read books like A Series of Unfortunate Events as a kid, so I kind of just picked up on the bigger words, I guess. So, yeah, that's kind of my story. With all of this, I could say, a lot of this would probably surprise some of you because you haven't seen my nervous side or anything like that. So, yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to say. I'm going to try to honor my promise of making a video every Saturday as best I can. It's slightly hard because I don't get out of this thing I do called School of Rock until 5 on Saturdays. So if I can't make a video, if I can't make a video Saturday, I will make one Sunday, or I will try to. Sorry, there's something on the screen. So that is it. And I will see you next video. Bye.